Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fantasy Football and welcome to my video. Today I am going to be looking at 5 best strategies for using a wildcard chip. Now, I am only going to be looking at the first wildcard that we get, that is from Game Week 1 to Game Week 16. I hope this video will be something that you are looking for. I'm going to be creating a lot of videos. I'm going to be looking at my second draft. I'm going to be looking into pre-season games because there's quite a few interesting players that are coming through that a lot of people's going to be thinking about. So yeah, subscribe guys. Subscribe if you're new because I'm trying to hit that milestone of 20k. And drop a like on the video. It'd be incredible to get over 200 likes. Thank you. So here we go. Now, in no particular order, but I think this is so important that we know, and I don't understand why not many managers are talking about this, and that is the transfer window. The transfer window is still active, and as some of you may know, the transfer window's deadline is 5th of October. Okay, 5th of October. So let's just see Aubameyang here. Let's look at the fixtures. As you can see, in Game Week 4, the deadline is 3rd of October, right? Okay, 3rd of October. And the deadline for the transfer window is 5th of October. So that is 2 days afterwards. And I think wildcarding after Game Week 4, probably after the transfer window, so after, you know, the 5th of October, I think it could be the best time to use our wildcard. Then we will know, 100% know that, you know, which players are transferring in and which players are transferring out. There could be a lot of movement, and you know what happens in the last few days, there could be a lot of transfers, and that could definitely will impact our FPL teams. So we need to make sure, and I think wildcarding after Game Week 4 could be one of the best times to use a wildcard. And if we look at some of the fixtures from Game Week 5 to Game Week 8, and as you can see, Spurs here at home against West Ham, then Burnley away, Brighton at home, and West Brom away. That's fantastic for them to get some kind of returns for our FPL team. You know, if we look at Wolves, a lot of managers out there are going without Wolves at the beginning of the season, but as you can see, their fixtures get better after the first 2. Leeds United away in Game Week 5, in Game Week 6, Newcastle, Game Week 7, Crystal Palace at home. These are very good, and a lot of FPL managers out there would want these players. So let's just take, you know, Spurs and Wolves players into our FPL team here. Now, looking at those fixtures, we may have more Spurs or Wolves players in our teams, just like this. Now, that's just a little bit of an example. And what if, like, example, Sancho goes to Manchester United out of nowhere? How is that going to impact Greenwood? So those are the questions that we're going to be asking, and I think it's great for us to wait and see and then use a wildcard after the transfer window is finished. The next international break is after Game Week 8. Last year I used it after Game Week 8, and basically I brought in a lot of Leicester players because I saw that Leicester City was doing really well. They were on form, and this will kind of give you guys the kind of like all the stats that you need to kind of settle with a team, right? And that's what happened after Game Week 8 last season. A lot of people went for Leicester, and they definitely helped us out. I was maintaining like 60k, 40k for such a long time. And this strategy does work. After Game Week 8 does work, guys. I know not many managers are looking into it, but if you can kind of like navigate through the first 4 game weeks, if there's no problems for you after the transfer window, then you could use your wild card and set another team, another plan for the next couple of games after Game Week 8. It's a good option. It worked really well for me last season, and it could work out for you. Now, as for number 3, if you can wait just a little bit more longer, which is actually quite difficult to do, is to use your wildcard in the December fixtures or in game week 16, or basically just before you get another wildcard. Now, just to let you guys know, you will get a new wildcard in game week 17, and it's a must for you to use your well, when I say must, you don't have to use it if you don't need it, but you should really use it in one of these game weeks. It's quite important that you use your first wildcard that you are given from game week 1 to game week 16. What I saw last year was a lot of FPL managers kind of holding their wildcard for such a long time for these December fixtures where a lot of things could happen. They fix their teams up, they got a lot of bench players that actually help them out. And if you can hold up for a little bit more longer, you can set yourself up for the new year and onwards. So that is another great option. Now, as for number 2, a lot of FPL managers out there are thinking to wildcard in game week 2. Now, I can definitely understand why a lot of people want to do that, because as you can see in game week 1, Manchester City, Manchester United, Burnley and Aston Villa, they don't have a fixture in game week 1. And what people will do is pretty much go all out in game week 1. They will get more, Spurs players against Everton, more Liverpool players, like 3 Liverpool players against Leeds, more Arsenal players, Southampton players, West Ham against Newcastle. They'll go all out in game week 1 and they'll activate the wildcard after that game week is finished or the deadline is done. And they will fix up the team immediately. There's not going to be price rises immediately. So they will fix up their teams and they'll bring in at least 2 Manchester United, maybe 1 or 2 Manchester City players. And they basically will adjust. Because a lot of people knows that, Manchester City is a team that could get us a lot of points, right? There is a lot of risk in them, risk in owning them because, sometimes we do see Sterling on the bench, Jesus on the bench, and that can definitely hurt. But, when they do play, they can bring us a lot of points. And we saw what Manchester United done in the last periods of the season. They done really well for us. Most of us had triple Manchester United players, and that worked. And their fixture against Crystal Palace is fantastic. And as you can see for Manchester United, in game week 2, they got Crystal Palace at home. Of course I want a Manchester United player. Brighton away and Tottenham at home, which is going to be difficult, but still, they got the chance to score a lot of goals in these games. So that's why a lot of FPL managers are trying to get them in their team. And what other managers might do is they might actually bench one of their Manchester United players, like Greenwood, which is just the cheapest one, and they would try and navigate in it. But it is still difficult because if people are doing that, you're still not happy, 100% happy with your team. I don't know. I think wildcard in game week 2 is an option. For me, I don't know how it's going to plan out, but I think there's going to be a lot of players that we might want. So game week 2 could be a very good option for a lot of FPL managers out there. So basically, the team might look something like this. Greenwood, Fernandes, and then in game week 3, remove Aubameyang for Sterling or Kevin De Bruyne. So this was some kind of option that I wanted to show you guys what people might do, which might help you out. Now, as for number 1, basically use your wildcard whenever your team needs it. Don't be pressured on using it in game week 2. Don't be pressured on after game week 4, after game week 8, or holding it for such a long time. Just use it whenever your team needs it, guys. Look at your team. If you see you got a lot of injuries, if you see that there is a lot of players that are doing really well, they're on form, and you got players that are not on form, and instead of waiting for such a long time and slowly taking one player out after another, and it's just not going anywhere, that could be your best time to use your wildcard. Okay, But the areas that I showed, you know, is pretty much the high traffic of FPL managers using the wildcard. So yeah, that is pretty much it. You might be asking, what I'm going to be doing? Well, I am going to try and navigate in game week 1. I'm going to try and get in at least one Manchester United player, and then get in a Manchester City player in game week 3. And then if there is some players that I'm like I desperately want, if it's just one player, that's fine. But if there's a lot of players that I want and it's just not going well for, you know, the rest of my team, I might activate my wildcard after game week 4 and sort it out. So that is basically the strategy. Anyways, guys, I hope, I know this video was a little bit long, but I hope that this has helped you. I'm going to be creating a lot more videos like this. And, you know, my whole goal is to basically play the game with you guys, enjoy the game, you know, from the ups and downs, and go through the whole season together. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Please subscribe if you're new and smash that like button. Hope this helped, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.